everyone, it's Priya here, and in today's video I'll be chatting about how to stop feeling stuck and get back into creating your art. And also I'll be painting this watercolor painting of a girl walking into a field of sunflowers with watercolors, and I'll also be using some fine liners at the end to add some details. Now, when I say feeling stuck, I mean not being able to create at all. You go to your sketchbook and you can't create, and not just because of the fear of the blank page, which can also make you feel stuck, or if you haven't painted or drawn for a long time, that can also, you can find that little bit of a resistance to starting. But this is when you really want to create, you've got ideas, you want to create something, but you just can't bring yourself to actually create. Now, this is something that I've experienced over the last few weeks, and I want to just show you or explain to you some of the things that I've done or how I've approached it to be able to start creating again and not feel stuck. Now, if you don't know, I have got a chronic pain condition, and this has been flaring up over the last few weeks, and it really has hampered my creativity, and it's really made it difficult for me to actually create, because there were times where I wanted to create, I had ideas, and I really, sat down and wanted to paint, draw, and I just couldn't. And I just couldn't bring myself to do anything or to actually paint anything. And now I'm not saying that if you are in pain or you're physically or mentally unable to do it because of whatever stress you're going on, because we all have stress in our lives, we all have different things going on in our lives. I'm not saying to force yourself when you feel this way and you really don't feel like doing it, but I mean those moments when you feel like doing it and you really want to create and you've made the time to create, or you're sitting at your desk and you want to do something creative, not only for art, for any activity that you enjoy, and you want to spend the time doing it, but you are unable to. That's what I'm talking about. You don't need to force yourself to do anything if you're not feeling up for it, or if you feel that you're not going to be able to do it. Don't force yourself. But those moments when you feel like you really want to create and you want to draw and you want to paint, then you just need to start and not let anything stand in your way, especially when it comes to procrastination or worrying about perfection or any excuses that we have in our mind which keep us stuck. Now, excuses are sometimes a way of us not prioritizing our art. So you'll have excuses like, I don't have time, or I don't know what to draw or paint, or I'm not in the mood. And because we have so many things going on in our lives every day, some are very important and some are not so much. But creativity and art seem to always be that one thing that we decide to, it's not important and we can leave it for another time, or we'll do it when we have time. And that never really happens. And this keeps us stuck, because this is a mistake we make by not going ahead and making that time for our creativity. It really makes us stuck and not be able to create your art and paint and draw. Now, we can always find ways to make art, and this doesn't only go for art. As I said, it goes for any activity that you enjoy doing, and we don't need these excuses, which are basically us procrastinating it or not prioritizing it. So we need to start making time for our creativity and make that also a priority. And I'm not saying spending hours doing a painting. I'm just talking about small steps, even just 2 minutes doodling or 15-minute sketchbook session. Nothing perfect, nothing detailed, just a way of us just getting our creative juices flowing and getting back into our creative flow. And that's what I'm talking about here. So just spending some time creating can be really beneficial to you, and it doesn't have to be perfect, and it can really help you with your if you have any stress, or to de-stress, relax, and just help you to even be proud of what you create, and to also practice and have a creative practice and start developing your skills as an artist as well. Now, back to my case, even though I was in pain and I was feeling really bad, there were times when I really wanted to create, and I would sit at my sketchbook and I really just couldn't get myself to paint or draw anything, nothing. I had ideas, but I just couldn't get myself to start creating. And the thing is, when I did create, I was not happy with what I created, because some of that artwork, it wasn't to, as I said, perfection came into play again, where I was thinking it's not perfect, it's not looking the way I want it to look, so I'm not going to create the next piece. But what I've realized is that by actually starting and creating, even the pieces that are not to my liking or that didn't turn out the way I wanted it to, that really got me started. And that's where you need to get. You need to get started in order to just start creating. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be something really detailed. You just start with simple things. So if you don't have time, for example, you can just find 5 minutes in your day to doodle, or nothing detailed, nothing perfect, but just draw or paint something. If you don't know what to paint or you don't have any ideas, then you can just take a pen or pencil and draw and paint whatever, or draw and sketch whatever you see in front of you, what's on your desk. Just draw that. You don't have to look for specific reference. Just draw what you see in front of you. And if you're not in the mood to paint, or you don't feel motivated or inspired, then just draw anything. Just start drawing. It doesn't have to be anything in particular, even just a color swatch of your favorite art supplies. That's all you can do. And at least that will get you to the point of starting. Because once you start, that's when you're going to get into the flow of creating more and more. And then you'll automatically start creating, and you'll start making the time to create, because that'll become your time that you need for yourself to create. When you start, don't worry about perfection, no thought, don't think of anything. Just bring your pen or pencil to paper and let your hand move across the paper and create anything. Simple doodles, scribbles, it doesn't matter. Just get your hand flowing with your pen or pencil. This may seem like a very simple exercise, but it can help you get unstuck. And it's helped me get unstuck, because I've tried that, and it really just gets you flowing. Even if it makes no sense what you're painting or drawing, just go ahead and paint and draw. It will help you to start creating and developing your creative practice, even if it's just a few minutes when you can spare in your day. It doesn't have to be long sessions, just a few minutes. Even sometimes maybe just by the TV, if you're watching something, you can just, do some doodles. For me, I usually, when I'm watching TV, I need to fully focus on whatever I'm watching. If it's a movie, if it's a TV show, I want to focus on it. I don't want to be doing something else. But if you want to do something, if you are someone who can, watch TV, and while you're watching, you just carry on doodling, then that's a way for you to do it. Or if you got something cooking and you're waiting, you don't need to be at the stove to watch it. You can just take that time, take a little pencil, paper in the kitchen, and just draw something or scribble something, draw the pot, draw anything, just to get your creativity flowing. Gradually doing this, you will start making time for your art, and it'll become a priority, and you will start creating and practicing whenever you feel like it, and creating and painting whatever you want. So another thing you can do is go through your favorite art supplies, or whatever art supplies you've got, and organize them. Usually going through your supplies, seeing what you have, and then organizing them, that can also help you to feel like using them, because you will see, now I've got this. You'll even realize there's certain things that you forgot that you purchased, and you can actually try them out, swatch them out, and then use those supplies, and you will see what you can create with them, and make a challenge for yourself. You can take bigger pieces and divide them into smaller segments of creativity, so you can have like smaller sections of time that you give to this particular piece that you're creating, and you just create little bit by little bit every day, whenever you have time. Not even every day, it can be whenever you have time. You're working on this particular piece, so you will work little by little, and you will just start building up that finished piece. So it'll take you maybe even 2 weeks, 3 weeks, even a month to finish one drawing. It's fine. Or if you want to do a smaller piece, do something simple and something that you can complete in a maybe 15-minute or 30-minute session. You can just do quick drawings or sketches. If you want to play around with your watercolors, you can do a quick sketch with your watercolors, and you don't have to do any planning or pre-sketches with pencil. Just go in with your watercolors and paint with them, and just get something onto paper. Doesn't have to be perfect. I know with sketchbooks, a lot of people want to keep their sketchbooks very pristine, and everything must be perfect in it, and I'm here to tell you, you don't need to do that, especially if your sketchbook is something that you want to do to help your creativity. Don't worry about it being perfect or being a complete piece. Even just do a little doodle. I've got some pages in my sketchbook. There are pages that I'm not happy with and I don't like, but it really is important as part of me getting past this feeling of being stuck and getting unstuck. And getting past that and moving on to me being able to create. Because once you move past that, you can start creating, you can start improving your art, you can start getting better at what you want to improve in. If you want to draw, you can learn to draw certain things that you want to get better at, because if you're stuck, you're not going to draw anything. So at least get that to the point where you've passed that and you're able to create. Then you can create something and you can improve, you can learn new things, get new supplies, try new things, try new supplies, new paintings, new subject matters, try limited color palettes. That can also help. And also, if you've got like, maybe you can try challenges, like for example Inktober is a challenge, Mermaid, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be those months when you do it. You can just take those challenges and do it at any time. You can make your own challenges as well. You can create your own challenges. You can just get random names of different items or things or subjects, put it into a bag, shake it around, pull out one, and that's what you will draw and paint. Make it a bit exciting for yourself and make it something interesting. You could also limit the colors you use. So maybe you can make it just one color that you're going to use in different values. Then you'll be able to create a whole painting or drawing with just that. But these are things that you can use as ways to keep your creativity flowing once you get started with the simple exercises. So you don't need to wait for the perfect time or wait to be in the mood for painting and drawing, or wait for that motivation or inspiration to strike. All you need to do is to start creating. Doesn't matter what you create, just pick up that pencil, paintbrush, or your pen, grab that piece of paper, your canvas or your sketchbook, and just start. That's the only way you can improve and start painting and drawing and making art again. So with this painting that I've done over here, I've just painted the entire painting with watercolors, and I've also just added some fine liners. I'm using a sepia tone fine liner just to add some little line work over everything. Now, I'm not paying attention to too much of detail, especially with the sunflowers. I'm just trying to give them a bit of dimension by adding the the line work for the petals. So I'm not making everything very hyper realistic, but you can see it's really looking a lot different once I add the fine liner. So that's a tip to use if you are doing a watercolor painting. Once you're done, you can add some fine liners. If you're looking for a subtle color, sepia tone will be fine, and you just use that to do some doodles over the artwork, just to define some of those petals or flowers, or for example her clothing. That really helps by using the fine liners over the watercolors. So I guess that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you found it helpful. If you have, don't forget to like and share. It really helps the channel out. Also, if you'd like to see other art and art content that I put up on my channel, then you could consider subscribing. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you'll be notified as soon as my next video is uploaded. I also do have a Patreon. The link is in the description box down below. So if you'd like to see what I offer on Patreon, then you can head over there and see if there's anything that you'd be interested in. So I guess that's it for this one. Thanks again for watching. Till the next one. Bye.